And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kayfabe Corner. I'm your host, JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens, as I sit down with not a fellow, but a pro wrestler in the wrestling scene. This week, I'm joined by the one and only Alex Todd. Alex, what's up, buddy?
Hey man, what's up?
Not much,
It's
man.
been a
As you're
while, huh?
saying, it's been a bit. It's been far too long, man. I mean, have you been wrestling at all lately? When's the last time you've been in a ring?
I would say last Friday.
Okay, so you
So
so you've been able to get back at it a little bit. That's good. That's good.
yeah,
How's that going? How's wrestling in quarantine world?
it's good because right now the fans are being deprived of something they love to watch. So as soon as like somebody's actually able to provide a live show to them, they go and they're having way more fun than usual. So it's
That
kind of
is
a
true. I'm
blessing
sure.
and a bad thing. Yeah.
Sure, people are itching for it, and it's good that things are starting to slowly but surely opening up.
Mm.
How you feeling emotionally, man? You good? Are you staying, keeping it together?
Yeah, I'm keeping it together. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about your journey into pro wrestling. Let's first begin all the way at the origins. Were you a fan growing up? When does wrestling first kind of come into the world of Alex Todd?
Okay, so when I was young, I lived in Puerto Rico, so I grew up watching the local Puerto Rican scene. Like anytime I was over at my dad's house, is always like IWA, WWC, and I was into it. I was very into it, and then yeah, I don't remember how old I was, but I was pretty young.
Yeah, growing up in Florida, we had IWA on the Sunshine Network, so I kind of grew up with it too.
Nice.
Who was one of the first kind of guys that grabbed you? Like, who did you gravitate towards? Who was kind of like your dudes?
I would in IWA, the one that like stood out the most to me was Shane the Glamour Boy. Yeah, he was kind of called like the Puerto Rican Nature Boy because he had that long blonde dreads, and he was amazing. Then I know you know him as Mil Muertes, but he was under Ricky Banderas. Like that's another guy that I was like, oh wow, he's really cool. And Savio Vega, obviously, because he's been such an influential person in the Puerto Rican wrestling scene. Then when I grew up a bit, I kind of lost track of it. And then a friend of mine reintroduced me to WWE. And one of the people that stood out the most to me was Undertaker. So there's such a unique character and his charisma and the way that like people were intimidated by his entrance. Like, yeah, he was just an out of this world character.
Very nice, very nice. And me and Savio Vega share a birthday. It's only 5 days away, by the way. If you want to check my Amazon wish list, no rush. Uh, when does the thought of being a pro wrestler come to your mind? Is it right away? Is it later on? Well, when do you start making those first thoughts and steps?
In high school, I was already thinking about it. I was like, I've always liked watching it. I just never knew how to go about it because it's very, you don't really know. Like, you don't know if there's a school, you don't know if there's somebody supposed to just train you. So when I moved to Orlando in 2012, that's when I started going over to the NXT shows, which is the first time I've ever seen any wrestling live. So I was like, oh, wow, like this is awesome. And then that's when I started like just doing research until I found a school and took a leap of faith. And here we are.
So when do you start training and how old are you? And where's that at?
So I started training when I was 18. What else? I was living in Orlando. It was in 2012. So it was right when I graduated high school and I moved to Orlando for college. And I started training at the Team Vision Dojo. It was the most accommodating to what I could do with financially at the time. So yeah, that's where I trained at.
Very nice. And of course, things I always like to ask on the show. I always got to know about previous names. So, do you have any other
Uh,
previous names you went under, and why is that?
oh my God. Uh, I hate I hate my first name so bad. I hate
You
that
got
it
to
gets
say because
brought.
I have three names on here.
Oh, Yeah, you'll get it. I just want to tell you how much I hate it, and I wish it would. I wish it would die, but it won't. Good old Blake Archer. I was a big fan of Lance Archer at the time.
Mm.
Well, I can't say at the time. I still am. He's awesome. And good old Blake from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. That's how that name came about. Then Blake Mason was a very interesting one-time off thing, because me and my friend Miguel wanted to be a tag team. So we figured, why don't we change our names to have the same last name? So he was Miguel Mason. I wanted to be Alex Mason, but my trainer didn't let me, so I went by Blake Mason. And then the last one, which I think, if I'm correct, was Alex Calderon, which that was when I was trying to stray away from the Blake, and I was trying to like start something new. I was trying to be more Spanish. And I only think I wrestled maybe one time under that name, but I think they called me Eric Calderon that one time. But yeah, those are my unfortunate previous names.
Why the hate for Blake Archer? It's not bad. Why the hate for Blake Archer?
It's because it's bad, man. In my opinion. A lot of people are like, you don't look like a Blake Archer. I'm like, exactly. That's why I changed it. And honestly, I was just a kid who had no idea what he wanted to do, had trainers that didn't really guide him in the direction he wanted to be guided in, or like, hey, your name sucks, you should change it. So yeah, that's where good old Blake Archer.
So finally, though, tell me about why Alex Todd now.
Okay, so I left the United States to go back to Puerto Rico to kind of just get away from bad relationship drama that kind of worked its way into the wrestling business, and it was a good decision to just pick up my stuff and leave. So I left to Puerto Rico, and I found a company down there, and I started wrestling for them. I started wrestling under some version of my shoot name, which was Alex Santini. Santini is a very well-known name in Puerto Rico, so I figured it'd be a good thing to do. But they were telling me, hey, we really like the fact that you speak English fluently. So how about we do something that you're an American that doesn't speak Spanish? So they were like, go ahead and come up with a name, and then we'll talk about it. I was like, okay. So one day I was at home watching Batman Under the Red Hood, and I'll reenact it for you here. But I was watching it, and I just kind of like it kind of just hit me. I was like, Jason Todd, he's Red Hood. Alex Todd, that sounds good. Yeah, let's go for it. And the Alex Todd stuck, luckily, because I actually liked it. And yeah, I was an American that didn't speak Spanish, but it's my first language, so I do speak it. And that's how Alex Todd was born.
You even wore a Red Hood for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah, I was full into that persona. I gave it 100%. Barrington Hughes made me Red Hood styled gear with the jacket that cost $170, which is in my closet. And yeah, I was into it. And then I kind of, you kind of just evolve with it, and I kind of grew out of it, but still like giving a tribute to it every now and then.
Yeah, I guess kind of jumping ahead a little bit and talk more about the evolution now. Who would you say Alex Todd is right now? Because I know you've been doing a little more of the face paint. And how would you say the character's evolved over time and where you are currently?
Okay, so at first it was, when I went full Red Hood, I was going under the Hood, Alex Todd, then not knowing that in Arrow they called him the Hood for a while too. So I was like, So I kind of stopped going to that. Then I believe I started doing a joint gimmick with a group only based in Puerto Rico. I was the only member out here. They were known as the Kings of the Night. So I was known as the Prince of the Night. So I started wearing the blue tights that I know you've seen me wear at many of your shows. That's where that kind of persona came in, and then worked its way to Freedom Alex Todd, which that was when I went full red hood with a mask, with the hood over my face, with the red tights, with everything. And then that kind of got old, like quick, because like at first we caught a lot of fire, and then all of a sudden like it stopped. Oh,
Freedom stopped. Where'd your picture go? There you
go. Sorry, I was getting another call. So then what happened after? Hold on. Oh, so Freedom Alex Todd, it got old real quick. So I kind of just started doing my own thing, still going out with the mask. Then I kind of grew out of the mask, and then that's when they put me to tag with Apollo. And when I was with Apollo, I was known as the Prince of Devastation. Devastation is a lot of chaos and stuff like that. So I was very quiet. I didn't talk. And then the more Apollo changed, because Apollo changed his stuff all the time, and I just kind of stayed the same. So he changed his name to Alex Misery, and I was like, why? Now we're both Alex. This is stupid. So then I thought about it, and I called Raven Marie, from oh, you're showing stuff. Oh, that's my God, look at that. It's horrible. So kind of like the Prince of Souls was born because I called Raven Marie from Puerto Rico, and she and I always wanted to do a kind of similar persona together. She's the Queen of Souls, the Soul Reaper, the Soul Pecker. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I do the Prince of Souls? And she said, yeah, that's fine. Like, we're going to tag together anyways. So that's where I'm at right now. The team broke up, which was good. It was awesome because now I kind of found myself, and now I'm doing the face paint, and yeah, I like how far it's come and how much it's changed, because it's supposed to be like that, you know.
So we don't have to get into it as much as you want to get into it, but going back to the training days, you kind of came out recently about some of the problems there. Just what are kind of some of the suggestions you can give to training schools to just make things more, I don't know, just better, just more, you know, as a lot of the stuff has been coming out these last few months, and rightfully so.
Right. Okay. So what I would recommend to them is make every single trainee feel wanted and special, because you're going to have those people that naturally excel and naturally are just athletic and naturally just get it right off the bat. Like maybe they're an amateur wrestler. Amateur wrestlers pick it up quickly. Maybe they've never done anything physical in their life, but they still have the passion for it. Because when I was training, I thought I was doing good, but then somebody else who had more, who I think the trainer saw more potential in, he started kind of just giving me the cold shoulder and kind of like giving all the spotlight to this one person. And when you're training to be good at something, you want to do good at it. So you need as much feedback, as much, I would say, encouragement to do it. Because like, you could think you're doing good, and then you get bad critiques for a match or for a drill, and it'll kill it for you. It'll kill the passion for you, or it'll kill your motivation to even want to be there. So I would definitely recommend like more one-on-one time. Keep the personal life and the wrestling life completely separate. If you have trainees that come in with their wives, with their kids, like that's okay. They can come and watch, but mostly I would tell them like, hey, like stay out. Like he's a different person here. He's gonna be a different person at home. I don't know. Just be nicer. Be more encouraging. Be what's the word? Courteous to that person. And yeah, I think there's a lot more, but yeah.
Absolutely, good. What's some of your favorite matches that you've had over your career so far? Who have you really clicked?
I'll give a few shout out to people in Puerto Rico. For example, Justin Dynamite was always one of my favorite people to work with. He's a former world champion down there now, so he's a good guy, good man. I'm trying to think of who have you put me against with that I have had great. Oh, Hunter Law. I still a million thank yous for that one. Wanted that match for so long. Jared Diaz, thank you for giving me that one as well. D3, me and D3 have had good matches, and my matches with Vertigo at Real Pro, comparing them to how they got to now, is still like one of my favorite times. God. Yes, good old Hunter. It's his birthday today. Gotta give him a shout.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Hunter Law.
Happy birthday, Hunter. Hunter. I wrestled Troy Hollywood in a triple threat. That was one of my favorites. Dimitri Action Jackson. Mostly like the better you get, the more favorite the matches get. I had a triple threat in Louisiana with Simon Phillips and Kalen J. It was really good. It's the first time we've all ever wrestled each other, so it was a good time. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Me and Sam C had a good match, but I don't want to tell Sam that our match was one of my favorites. So yeah. Those are my matches.
On the now kind of on that next level there, who are some guys, locally, Florida, Louisiana, or Puerto Rico too, wherever, but kind of realistically that you haven't faced that you would love to get in there with?
One person that I've always wanted to get in the ring with, and I call them out every single time they ask me this question, is always, hey, there it is always Jude McKenzie. If I could get in the ring with Jude, it would be a dream come true. But he's retired, so he does like the super cosplay. So,
but he's come back before. We'll get him back again.
Yeah. Who else? I'm trying to think. I want Snoop. Snoop Strikes like really, really bad. Snoop and I had a tag match about maybe 3 to 4 years ago against each other, so I would like to more update it now that he has gotten way better and I've gotten a lot better. There's also a few people in Puerto Rico, like I'm gonna name them out, even though so Aiden Grimm, Luis Forza, Dimes, all owe me matches, so can't wait to do those. Let me think. It's always like when you get put on the spot, your mind is always like, wait, and it goes blank.
You'll think of more later on. You go, oh no.
Yeah, Ray Fury, Locura, Braxton Hunter, all guys from Louisiana that I would love to face. And yeah, I'll go with those because right now I can't think of any more.
So we're gonna do a little bit of role playing here. After a show, a little kid walks up to you and goes, "Mr. Todd, I loved your match. I want to be a wrestler too one day." What do you say to him or her?
I'll be like, well, if you want to be like us one day, just make sure you stretch, eat your vitamins, play sports, eat your veggies, listen to your parents. And then one day they're going to take you to a school and make sure you give it 100% and don't quit.
Very like 80s inspirational. I love it. Drink your milk, kids. Drink your milk. Well, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Mr. Todd?
Well, hopefully I'll be married. Every time somebody asks me that, I always throw that out there because it seems possible. It always seems possible with my current situation when the question's asked. So, so hopefully I'll be married. Hopefully I'll be at least have toured Japan, and have toured all of the entire world. Hopefully, maybe signed to a big company like AEW or New Japan, Impact. Doesn't matter. Whichever one gives me the opportunity first, I'll take it. And either I hope to not be in Orlando by then, but if I am, maybe I'll still work for Universal Studios, but I'm at a way higher and much better paying position. And yeah, that's where I see myself.
Any words of wisdom or any other parting words for the listening audience out there?
Put on your mask. Put on your mask. Make sure you sanitize your hands. I don't go anywhere without my little squirt bottle of rubbing alcohol and hydrogen peroxide. Bring that with me everywhere so I can always feel refreshed and wash my hands when it's not available. Be kind to others. Remember, we're all human beings. You know, Black Lives Matter. Nation of domination. You know, we all need to stop being in conflict with each other. Everybody says that always. If we weren't in conflict with each other, we'd be in a much better place. So just be kind to each other, and watch more wrestling. Support us. Buy our merch. Listen to our podcast. All that.
Obviously, things aren't as busy as they once were, but do you have any plugs, upcoming events that you want to throw out there?
Yeah. If you want to tune in to or be on the lookout for the Sweetwater Pro Wrestling page, there is a few matches that were taped that will be released in the next upcoming weeks. September 4th, Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling is running live with a crowd. This Saturday is Knockout. I am not booked on it, but I will be there to support Raven Marie because she's booked on the show. Go Wrestle, their fan page, they're running more frequently. I think they might be the most consistent company running in Florida at the moment. And for the hell of it, check out Gangrels. Oh, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram at @thealex_Todd. If you want to go to my Facebook, my personal Facebook as Alex Todd, my picture is all black because Black Lives Matter. And if you want to like my fan page, is the Prince of Souls, Alex Todd. And if you want to buy my t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/thealextodd.
All right, Alex. Well, man, it was a pleasure chatting with you, man. Hopefully we'll see each other soon, sooner than later. Yeah, man.
Hopefully, all that stuff that happened clears up. Maybe we'll be able to work again in the future.
You know I've always loved you, man.
Yeah, and I love you too, man.
I just want to put on good shows with good people. That's all I've ever wanted.
Mm-hmm. And I respect that 100%.
All right, man. That's Alex Todd. Like you said, if you check out any of those promotions featuring him, check that out. Look him up on YouTube. Give him a shout out. Tell him you love him. And also, as always, keep it kayfabe. Thanks, everybody.